All right, hello everyone. We're at Pocket Gamer Connects London 2022. I'm Dylan from HyprMX and I'm joined by Vincent from TapNation. Vincent, welcome.
Thank you, Dylan. Nice to be here with you.
Thanks for joining us. So, just to kick things off, TapNation is a relatively new company. Maybe you could tell us about its inception and sort of how it's been going over the last few years.
Sure. So TapNation was founded in 2019 with private funds, angel investors. We are now a team of 35 people based across the world. So our main office is in Paris, but we also have a very open and flexible remote working condition for all our employees. So we have people in Turkey, East Europe, even across Asia. So it's a very international and mobile company. As a hyper-casual publisher, we work with more than 150 game developer studio, again based across Europe, Asia. So it's a very global connection we have here. Very excited to be working on this market. Last year, we reached a new milestone in terms of income and revenue, which announcing a brilliant year for 2022 for us, yes.
Nice, a lot to look forward to, which we'll jump into a little later, but I know you mentioned the company has been growing a lot. I know you've been a recent hire by them, so maybe tell us more. You started very recently, tell us about it. I know you had jumped from sort of the ad network side, being formerly at MoPub and Mobi.
Yes.
Maybe you could tell us about that and sort of the decision making into going the publisher side.
Sure. So as you said, I was joining from MoPub Twitter. I've been there for 2.5 years before joining TapNation in June 2021, so about 7-8 months ago I joined.
Oh, wow.
I think for sure I had a lot of chance to be at MoPub because as a mediation platform, you get a big visibility on the whole ad monetization stack. People use between 20-25 ad network partners, so you get an understanding of how everyone works. Not everybody is on bidding. There's still a lot of waterfall going on, and I was lucky enough to work with all the French market and Israeli market. That gave me kind of a global visibility across different portfolio, and I was always excited to jump back after in the more entrepreneurial startup side, and working with publishers for the past 7 years get me really excited to join a publisher studio and be able to apply all of that at the top level. So it's been very exciting. A lot of months, of course, putting really into the operational side first, making sure we got all up clean up in terms of new partners. But it got very quickly exciting on testing new format, new networks to integrate. Very bold things. The market has evolved a lot, so we can also come and testing new things that didn't happen 2 years ago when the eCPM market was not as high as we can do today.
Right. So it seems like you bring a lot of expertise to the company, which is amazing to hear. And going back to TapNation a little bit, right? So hyper-casual has been sort of the hot thing over the last few years.
Yes.
Maybe you could talk us through more about what separates your studio from all the other hyper-casual ones that are currently floating around.
I think TapNation has not been doing bad over the last 3 years. 400 million downloads now we reach, thanks to all different titles. Giant Rush, Sneaker Art, or Ice Cream, for example, have been already living for more than a year. So even hyper-casual title can last for a while. I think what we bring as a small company, we really consider it as a family of pirates, if I can say, because we're really involved and working closely together with our studios. What's interesting to notice is that probably out of all the hits we had about 15 hits in the past 3 years. 80% of the IDs that were developed were actually internal IDs. So at TapNation, we do have a system of game storming. Every week we work on the IDs of our games. And we propose those new ideas to different studios, and the studio work on those concepts. So we really work hands in hands. It's not like just the studio develop a game, propose to it, and we publish it. It's really going both ways of us improving the game, and then our publishing team remains very involved on the whole life cycle of the games with the studio, with the developers. So we propose new idea. We have a live ops team that is really going every week on working closely with the developer to get those improvements. So the human size and really the support that we do bring to our studio, I think what makes TapNation quite unique in terms of offer and publisher.
Sort of in search of the new hit or the new title, what are you looking for mainly in those titles and these studios and these people that you're working with? What's sort of the secret recipe?
What we look at into our studio is really the motivation, the culture of the team.
Right.
How are they just willing to go for a paid partnership, or are they willing to go for a big hit It's going to generate $1 million ad revenue for them total. So that's really what we're looking. So the motivation of the people, how motivated they are to work on the long-term project, and also when they get some more knowledge out there. So we had the runners, which has been like a very mainstream model now for hyper-casual. So
Right.
we're looking at not probably duplicating one of the type of hit that's been working, but more looking at people who have got a good knowledge in market insight. What is the new trend on social media? What is the new trend on TikTok?
Right.
And out of there, we can find a new gender, the new type of game. So studios that are very open to the market and to the new trend will help us like get the next hit. That doesn't have to be a copy of something worked that 1 or 2 years ago, for example.
Right. It sounds like a lot of innovation, a lot of testing, and
You
again,
have
like
to-
you mentioned, a lot of qualitative things, right? You're looking for the right people,
Yes,
the right people to work with, which is awesome here.
really what matters, yeah.
Yeah. So reverting more so to your day-to-day, I know you're the VP of monetization over there.
Yeah.
And you know, the main 3 ad formats that we typically see in hyper-casual, you know, rewarded, interstitial, and banners. Is
Yeah.
there a particular format that works for you? Do they all work for you? Sort of maybe you could give us a peek under the hood as to what you're seeing on the monetization side.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I think it's generally understood that interstitial is the number 1 ad revenue driving for hyper-casual. You know, we have a little bit less rewarded video than other casual or mid-core titles could
Right.
easily get for user. When you have AAP, then it's easier to log in some more rewarded video placement. But banner is still also a constant ad revenue flow. The CPMs on banner are being increasing a lot. Type of banner is also interesting. So now we're trying to balance a bit of everything. Of
Right.
course, as people want to get more engagement, we're trying to push rewarded video on top of interstitial, because let's remember that interstitial is the most intrusive ad format for sure.
Right.
Ad networks are getting a bit more aggressive in terms of creatives, in terms of end cards, in terms of cross button and exit. So as we mentioned, the retention is dropping for users in hyper-casual in the long term. So we're trying to find some way to maybe reduce that interstitial pressure from the ad network, so that we can balance more and lower the pressure on interstitial, maybe, let's say that way.
Anyway, this is the last question for you. So what can we expect from you and TapNation this year? Any big projects in the works? Any sort of insights you could share?
Market is moving extremely fast, and there's new verticals that are coming up. As I mentioned, hyper-casual is getting a big now on the market, so we're trying to find new way to expand, getting more engagement on users. So we have a few prototypes looking more at casual games that I would like to relaunch on that side. And of course, we're also exploring ideas around NFT games. You know, blockchain is becoming a new trend, and we've seen Voodoo making huge investment in that area. So we're definitely up and getting ready for that as well. We have a team working on such project already. So that's all interesting things that we're looking at. And for sure, being the last remaining hyper-casual studio independent, we'll also probably got hopefully some good news at the end of the year. We'll see what the future reserves.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see how that all pans out.
Yes.
For sure. Very exciting stuff to come.
Same.
Vincent, thank you again for coming along.
Same, Dylan.
And let's keep in touch, and hopefully
Perfect.
2022 will be as big as everyone says it will be.
Same. Wishing you all the best as well. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.